Hello, I'm Michael Alberto. I am Leonard Kaplan's special guest on this episode of What Do You Want to Do?
Welcome to What Do You Want to Do, the show that will hopefully help you figure out what you want to do in life or reconnect you to what you love doing. Each show has a guest who is doing what they want to do, whether it's in their career or in addition to their regular job. Most importantly, we want to help you realize that no matter your age, you too can do what you want to do if you have the will to do it. Now here's your host, Leonard Kaplan.
Back again with another show, and I have my youngest ever guest on What Do You Want to Do right now, Michael Alberto, who just graduated from Medford Vocational Technical High School. He was a member of my program in media technology. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Kaplan? You're just gonna dox me like that?
What do you mean?
You know, just put my info all out there like that? I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty sure people already found out like my address, so I guess it doesn't even matter at this point.
I'll do the intro again.
No, it's fine.
I won't say more.
No, you want to know why? Because I Googled my name under the news section, and there's like
Yeah.
a website that like published everybody who graduated. And obviously,
Okay.
I'm the first person on the list, so there's nothing I can do about it.
So do you want me to do it again or not?
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm breaking
Okay.
your balls. I'm
All right.
trying to be humorous.
Okay. All right. So yeah, naturally I'm going to edit all that junk out.
Nah, it's funny. It's funny.
Anyway, so Michael, you've been a YouTuber for a long time, and when I first met you, when you were in my program, I always envisioned us doing a podcast someday called The Zoomer and the Boomer, or The Boomer and the Zoomer, but that never quite happened.
Funnily enough, that was a podcast I was gonna go see live. It was called Zoomer versus Boomer, and they would argue about movies. And I paid like $80 for a few tickets to go see them live in Boston, but then they canceled it.
That's interesting.
Quite ironic.
You were actually the first person I ever heard use the word boomer as an insult, and you did it before anybody else. And when people started doing it, you stopped doing it because you didn't want to be like everybody else.
No, it was a common insult on 4chan to use against people who would talk about how great like video games in the 90s were. It's like, all right, boomer, all right, get out of here. But then it got like popularly used on like Twitter, and then people just started commonly using it. And I'm like, I just can't use that word anymore.
Well, certain words become overexposed, just like certain songs and all that stuff. But so I want to ask you a bunch of stuff about your online presence. First of all, congratulations on your 1,000th subscriber on
Thank you.
YouTube. Was it on YouTube or
It was on
Twitter?
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. So do you have any other outlets besides YouTube? You're mainly a YouTuber, correct?
Yeah, I have a TikTok that, for whatever reason, is my biggest platform, even though, I despise TikTok.
Well, you haven't been on there very long on TikTok.
Well, I just hate the platform. I just hate the type of content that gets put on there. I hate the people who run it and how they run it.
Yeah. Are there any crossovers like you from YouTube to TikTok?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we just used my TikTok just to promote videos. So I'll make like a few exclusive videos for TikTok, and some of them did really well. One has like 500,000 views.
Okay.
But it's mainly just to promote the YouTube videos.
Right. Well, whatever you're doing right. What do you think made you? Now, how long did it take you to reach 1,000 subscribers?
On YouTube?
Yes.
Depends when you want to start. I mean, I remember gaining my first, I think, 100 subs probably back when I was in like the 5th grade, maybe like 2013. But there would be like times where I would just like not upload for like months or years or things like that. I don't know, I'd just make a new channel, I'd post there, then I would delete it.
So contrary to the popular advice out there, which says to post every week or else you'll lose your followers, you just do anything whenever you want to do it, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it just depends on the type of content you make. I think if you make what I do, I think the audience recognizes it takes much longer than most people.
That's pretty interesting. Well, your edits are very intricate. They're very complex. You do a lot of writing for your narration, and it's very well
Pretty sure
planned.
the Hunter Avalon script was like 15 pages or something.
I believe it. I believe it, and we're going to get to that in a minute because I want to talk about that interview, and the documentary in general.
Mhm.
So, how old were you? I know, but the audience doesn't know. How old were you when you started to be aware that you wanted to do something on YouTube?
Probably like third grade or preschool. Because
That young?
I found YouTube because I was trying to find something related to SpongeBob, and I
Mm-hmm.
ended up on like Lego SpongeBob like YouTube like stop motion animations. I
Yeah.
remember just watching those, and I've tried so hard to recover this video. I remember I recreated this famous Lego video. It's not even a stop motion. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Lego characters are all on strings. It was called, I think, Lego McDonald's, or it's like it was spelled weirdly.
You
And I
did show
remember,
me. You showed me that once. You
yeah, I
showed
remember
me that.
being in preschool or like kindergarten or whatever. I remember recreating that video on this like digital camera my parents had. And I remember one night I probably tried for like 2 hours going for like every memory card I could possibly find, trying to find it, but I just couldn't find it. It's
Very
lost the
interesting.
time.
So now, when did you start your channel? Is that when you started it?
I'm so the first channel I ever had, it was called, I think, I don't know. It was a play on the YouTuber Captain Sparkles, who's a
Okay.
famous Minecrafter. I forget what it was called exactly. I had it for a month. I only got to up to like 4 subscribers on it, and then I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Thankfully, though, I did back up most of the videos on a new channel I made like a month later, which is the channel I post on now.
So now that's interesting. Now, what is the advantage of starting a new channel instead of just revamping the old one?
Uh, I mean, it's not much. I mean, it kind of looks better if you have like 100 subscribers, even if they're dead subs. It kind of looks better than
Yeah.
if you have zero. But and maybe
Mhm.
you'll still have a few viewers left, but even if it's just like one or two people, that still counts.
So
But
you also do editing for other creators on YouTube. How did you
mhm.
get into that?
I started reaching out to people publicly on Twitter, which is probably not the way you want to do that, but I got lucky at like 15, and that's where I went from there.
So do you think some people will think, "Oh, he's spamming now"? Is that why it's not a good idea?
What do you mean spamming?
Well, spamming means like when you're using a public platform for
Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to say.
flooding
Well, I wasn't really
internet.
spamming not a tweet doesn't exist anymore, but because I remember I went back one day and I deleted all those tweets. I wasn't doing it like really often. I just tweet out here and there, like a couple of YouTubers I liked and asked them to check out my stuff and if I could edit for them.
Okay, you've graduated high school and you've come a long way since then. What would you say was your turning point in gaining the followers that you ultimately have today, which is 1,000 subscribers?
The turning point.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's probably the EDP video maybe. I don't know
Okay.
exactly what video was
And
I
what
guess the
is
turning point.
EDP? What is that?
He
For people.
was a YouTuber I used to very like. And then he
Yeah.
was doing some weird stuff behind the scenes, and then he tried to meet up with what he thought was a 13-year-old girl, and he's like 30. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
the end of
Well,
that. That's the end of that.
it could be a very dangerous place, the internet, no matter
Yeah.
what site you're on. There are certain sites. You and I were talking about Discord the other day, and I have a friend who does Discord, and she helped me bring myself on there with an account, but I have no idea how it works. Uh, why are some audiences so rude, and some are pretty much? They seem like a safe place, because when my friend does her Discord stuff and her Twitch stuff, there's like all there's no uh there are no trolls there.
It's probably
Uh,
because it's just her community and she can ban people. But on
uh
YouTube, like everybody on the planet has a YouTube account, so it's just the
and that
entirety of the human race just posting, and you can't like whitelist or blacklist people.
blacklist.
People, it's just when they comment, that's when you can see it. Then you can decide to ban them. I don't think you can ban people in advance. I don't think you really could even if you. I don't think you'd even want to do that because that would be like so much time to just
Yeah,
spend just trying to figure out who's an asshole, trying to ban them.
I have to bleep that.
And
Um, I'm old-fashioned, Michael. As you know, I don't
Yeah.
allow profanity on my channel.
Yeah.
But I should have known what I was in for when I asked you to be on here.
Yeah, you should.
Let's get into your documentary, which is your most extensive documentary, not expensive, with Hunter Avallone.
Yeah.
Now, Hunter Avallone, you introduced him to me, not in person, but you made me aware of his presence and how he changed from, I would say, if you can correct me, a far right person to maybe left of center person.
Maybe he was far right at one point, but for the most part, he was just like a normal conservative. When he started, he was pretty edgy. I know he did the video where he dressed up as like a Muslim to mock them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he kind of ditched that stuff rather, I guess, early on. By like 2018, I think he kind of stopped that for the most
Well,
part.
from your documentary, I guess it coincided with when he had a child and he got
Yeah,
married, right?
the breakup, the unexpected pregnancy,
Yeah.
getting dropped in like a bunch of debates by different people, both on there. Well, he got dropped in one debate by a leftist, and then he was getting bullied by a bunch of like paleo conservatives and like fascists and people like that.
So just like anywhere else, but probably more exaggerated on the internet, is when people leave one faction and join another, it's like they're seen as going over to the enemy, I guess. So in his case, you had all that stuff that made a lot of good content actually for your documentary, because conflict is king, as I always teach in my classes.
Yeah.
So was Hunter the first internet celebrity who you ever interacted with that way, or no?
What do you mean interacted with that way?
Interviewed for your
Interviewed? Yeah, I'd probably say so. He's probably, I guess, the most infamous person I've ever interviewed. I'm supposed to be interviewing Baked Alaska at some point, so maybe you could argue he's more infamous than Hunter when that happens. But yeah.
No, you never interviewed who you taught. Now, you taught me all these names because I'm never on there like that. PewDiePie is supposed to be one of the most famous ones.
Yeah.
So you never interviewed him.
No, I've never met PewDiePie. No.
That'd
That'd be awesome though, but no, I've never talked to PewDiePie.
If you were planning on doing that, how would you go about doing it? How did you meet Hunter, actually?
How did I meet him? I've discovered him when I was in middle school, 8th grade. And the reason why I remember that was because I went to the Boston Freedom of Speech rally right after Charlottesville happened.
Yes.
And I wasn't in high school at that point. So that was 8th grade going into high school. So I had to have found his videos when I was in middle school, 8th grade.
So I want to compliment you on that documentary that you did with Hunter, because in that documentary, you did not shy away from controversial questions that probably another guest may have hung up on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you were bringing up his faults and his contradictions and things like that, and he just accepted it good-naturedly. What gives you the courage to do something like that at your age?
I guess I just don't really care.
That will do it.
I mean, it's just if you like want people to like you. I mean, obviously, if I wanted Hunter to like me, I wouldn't I guess really like me, like try to befriend him. I wouldn't have probably gone down that path, but I think he respects me. I went on his stream because he watched my video on stream, and we like debated the censorship question, which I really pushed him on in the video.
And what was that about?
What do you mean?
Describe that a little bit.
The censorship?
Yeah.
Oh, he thinks, or he kind of implied that conservative censorship isn't real. And I know he likes to kind of like walk around because he always wants to get into a semantic debate on the definition of conservative and right wing and all this other stuff. Because in his video where he defends his speech, the original one, he kind of walks back the point and he goes, "Oh, those people aren't conservative. They're actually alt-right and they're actually anti-Semitic." But then I pushed them on, what is really not conservative, but like what is anti-Semitism? How would you actually define that? Because I pointed out the U.S. Department of State includes some things that might not actually be anti-Semitism. Because if you ask me, anti-Semitism would just be if you hate Jewish people. But obviously being critical of Israel isn't anti-Semitic, but some people would still consider that anti-Semitic. So I was pushing him on that and things like that.
Understood. And a lot of people hide behind, anti-Semites hide behind criticizing Israel.
Oh yeah, they do. I don't
And
deny that. Some people will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm only anti-Zionist," but then they'll like basically just dog whistle, or I don't even know if you could call it dog whistling, but they'll say Zionist when they really mean Jew. But then that also becomes an issue if you want to criticize like Zionism. But then some like people will think you're just criticizing Jewish people, even though there's Christian Zionists. I think Christian evangelicals tend to be Zionist because I believe under their belief, they think if all the Jews return to Israel, Jesus Christ will return back to earth.
That's exactly right. You've done your homework there.
Yeah, so obviously those people aren't Jews because they want Jesus Christ to return, or that's how they believe he'll return. And then you got atheists or people who are like formerly Jewish, but they're atheists. But then I know people who aren't Jewish at all who are pro-Israel because they think the Jews deserve it because there's arguments to be made that it is ethically their homeland,
right,
and it's historically, I guess, their homeland. People argue about that all the time of like if it actually belongs to Palestinians or the Christians or the Catholics. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent. But
very no, that's really good in-depth content there, Michael. It shows that you approach these documentaries with
or I don't know if they're technically documentaries. They like exist in this like gray space of like video essay and documentary. You can say whatever you want. I don't really care.
That was a documentary in my view, and that's a compliment when I say documentary, because a documentary is research. You did a lot of research. You listened to Hunter for years. You knew exactly what you were doing when you were complimenting him as well as criticizing him and analyzing his career. So, documentaries, as I say in my classes, they can be anywhere from 5 minutes to, hours. And any shorter than that, you would call it a news package, or a news package with a point of view. So it's very, very interesting that at such a young age that you would delve into such deep content, because I think most people your age, it's more about maybe hip hop and more about maybe people dancing around and stuff like that.
Yeah,
maybe
TikTok.
I'm stereotyping. Yeah, TikTok. Maybe.
No, that's a good thing. Most people that make like internet content are doing like memes or TikTok dances.
Yes.
Not a lot of people I could think of a few people who started doing the video essays when they were like teenagers. But that's like a few like very vague exceptions I can think of like people I've watched on YouTube.
Now, I've seen you at your best in your work, and I've seen you ready to quit.
Yeah.
A long, long time ago, you said, I'm never going to do another video. I'm never going to edit because I think somebody didn't react well to it that you knew or something like that. But
I honestly can't remember who it was.
I think it was a teacher that you tried to show the video, and the teacher wouldn't even let you show the video.
Dude, that was like really bull, because that was like probably the best video. I like to feel like every video I make is better than the last. I don't think I'll be able to top the Hunter one for a while, but that was the best video I made up to that point. I sunk a lot of time into it. And the video I made a year previously was really bad, and that actually got nominated to go to the competition, even though in hindsight the video is like awful. And even back then I realized it was awful. So
what competition was that now?
That was the National History Day competition.
And who sponsors that?
I don't know who sponsors it, but my 9th grade teacher sent my video in. He loved it. Apparently I guess he's still, from my understanding, he's still showing it to like his new classes because he really liked it. But so I made this new video. I thought it was awesome. There is some cool edits I still like in it, but I guess she didn't like one opinion I gave in it, and she never sent it in, and I was pretty upset about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to get into some of the people that you seem to admire, I guess, but I'm not sure if you really admire them as people or you just admire their
talents
work ethic,
like
what's that?
Like talents and like rhetoric.
Talents on YouTube, like PewDiePie, and some of these people are on the far right or the alt right.
Like who?
And isn't PewDiePie on the far right?
No, he's not.
He's
That
not.
that whole thing comes from a joke he made like 4 years ago, in which
Okay.
for a while he was doing really edgy content because YouTube in 2016, 2017, it was really edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff people would like put on there, like the
Yeah.
types of jokes they would make. And so, I mean, probably in hindsight, it wasn't, I guess, a good look for him to be making, I guess, like ironic, like Nazi jokes and things like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, there was never really a big controversy like that on YouTube, where the mainstream media like went in and was like, I guess, basically accusing him of anti-Semitism.
Right.
Even
Right.
though, even though for you to think the jokes were funny, you would have to dislike the Nazis. The whole joke was, oh, these people are bad people, and we're making fun of them
Right.
by showing how, I guess, insane some of their ideas are. Because if you just say it, you kind of sound insane, you know?
I understand where you're coming from. So, but you make no distinction, I think, from left to right. If somebody's interesting, you'll listen to them.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't
Uh,
care. As long as it's entertaining, I'll watch.
yeah. So, where do you draw the line? I guess is my question. Where do you draw the line in maybe broadcasting something that like nobody will find appropriate?
As long as YouTube won't ban me, I'll probably do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
that's how far. I mean, YouTube's TOS is much more restrictive than it was 4 years
Yeah.
ago. So
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that I probably won't be able to make the type of content I grew up watching. But I don't even know if I'd want to do that. I kind of want to be professional, things like that.
Okay, so that leads into my next question. You're out of high school, and where do you go from here now? You want to make your career on YouTube?
I want to do internet content. I don't know if I'd want to do, I guess, like traditional media, things like that. I mean, I know that's good for some people, but I kind of hate working with a bunch of people. I mean, I've done like videos online. I've had to work with other people. And it's not bad, but I kind of just like the thing I've gotten used to is, oh, I talk to this YouTuber. He sends me the script and he tells me what he wants, and then I just do it. And I do it on my own time and when I feel like it, as long as they meet the deadline, and then it's uploaded, and I get paid.
Right,
Uh,
you're a freelancer.
I like that. I don't like having to work because I mean I've had online jobs where I've had to work with other people, and I mean it's fine, but I kind of like just doing it by myself, you know.
Now, would you ever consider crowdfunding to do the things that you want to do?
Crowdfunding,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I technically am already like I have the Patreon open. I mean, I've never received any money off of it, but I guess
Okay,
I guess that's technically crowdfunding. So yeah,
it
if
is.
people like the content, they want to see more of it, and help me make more of it, and buy new equipment and things like that, then yeah.
And what do you think would put you over the line to receive that money from them?
I just
What,
gotta get the videos to get more views. Basically, that's all it is now. It's just growing the audience. The Hunter Avalon videos. I was looking at my statistics,
yeah.
and out of like the first like YouTube will show you how good the videos doing compared to like your average. And in the first 4 days, the video has like 800 views, and
Hmm.
normally I'd only have like 150 or like 200. So
Well, that's
it's just blowing it out of the water in every component. I think it's mainly due because of how long I was hyping it up and how long
sure.
the video is. Because long high quality content, I think like the new meta on YouTube.
Hmm.
Because you'll see video people making like 5 hour like YouTube video essays, and they get millions of views because people just throw it on in the background as they do something. And it's good content. So even if you wanted to watch the full 5 hours, you could also do that. And it gets insane watch time, and then it keeps getting more recommended to more and more people. More and more people keep watching it. So it just does good all around.
Well, people, I think, plan their leisure time around YouTube videos because you can stop them. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to wait for a certain time that they're on.
Yeah.
It's very similar to podcasting, just the audio. Of course, with audio podcasting, you don't have video, so people can multitask while they're doing that.
Yeah. Normally, even
And
when there is video, sometimes I'll just listen to it. Or I have like
yeah,
two monitors, so sometimes I'll just play a game and I'll have like the video running in the corner. And if I really care enough, I can just stop playing and look at it.
there's also a school of thought that says you can make shorter videos, like little 5-minute ones, or even
Yeah.
shorter, and you'll get more viewers that way. What do you think of that?
The meta with TikTok's really short content, and YouTube's also picking this up. They've added the YouTube Shorts thing, And even I think Instagram and Snapchat have their own like TikTok knockoffs built in now. So I would say either do under a minute videos or do really long videos. I think maybe going to like 5 to 10 minute route. I don't know if that's like the way to go now. I would say probably go like 20, like 30-minute video, or just do like maybe a 1 minute video.
Huh.
I think that's like the new meta.
So let's talk about some of the platforms that you use to promote your work. Mm-hmm. One of them that you used consistently, but now you seem to turn against, is Twitter. Tell us the story about you and Twitter now.
I just hate the platforms. I hate everything about it. Why? It's just designed to piss you off because that's how they keep you on their website, you know? I'm pretty sure I don't even think this is a theory. I'm pretty sure it's just like well known at this point that if they can like outrage bait you, they'll know you'll keep reading, you'll read the comments, you'll get into arguments with people. It's just a negative platform. Everybody on there is like stupid because they're either a lot of the people on there are like 14 years old, if you think about it.
Okay. So can you give an example of some of the stupidity on Twitter?
Call Me Carson. The cancellation of Call Me Carson was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So who's that now?
He's a famous YouTuber, and everybody on Twitter just decided to ruin his life and call him a pedophile because when he was 19, he dated a 17-year-old. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And every time he's tried to come back, or like he announced, I think like a month ago, he'll be returning soon. And he was like trending #1 on Twitter, and everybody was calling him like all this like evil, awful names, even though there's nothing wrong with what he did at all.
That's really sad stuff.
It is. It's very sad.
That's too bad. Now,
I think all the people, if I had to imagine all the people who were like calling him those things, they're probably like 13 or like 14 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the middle school age.
Yeah, like high schoolers. I think if you, I guess, witness or like you get older, you realize there's not much like, I guess, difference. There's like nothing, I guess, morally wrong with that. Small little age gap. It's just, I don't know, it's just stupid.
What about Instagram? What do you feel about Instagram?
I like Instagram sometimes. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it depends on who you follow on that website, I guess. It's kind of like Twitter, just depends who you follow. On my like main account, the public account, I don't like using that account because it's like just like pictures of just like famous people hanging out or like other YouTubers hanging out. But when I'm
your main Instagram channel, you mean?
Yeah, the main account. But when I use like my private one just for like my friends, and like I get to like follow like a bunch of like meme accounts and things like that, then I have fun because I'm just seeing like funny content on my feed like 24/7, and I'm like messaging my friends and we're sharing funny images and things like that. Then that's when Instagram becomes fun. It's when you have like a private account.
What about Facebook Live and Instagram Live? Do you ever use those to promote your content?
Instagram Live, I've used it. I prefer TikTok Live kind of because I have more followers on TikTok. But TikTok Live just bans you for no reason at random points.
So the administration does that.
Yeah. I think they just have bots like transcribing what you're saying. Yeah. And if like even if like it gets mistranscribed into saying something bad, they'll just ban you. You know, I don't think you can even say like kill, and then they'll just ban you off of that, no matter the context. So it's just,
okay. So now
you gotta be careful in there.
There seems to be, in my mind, a little bit of a contradiction between your hatred for Twitter and your liking Instagram and TikTok, because, well, TikTok, let's compare Twitter to TikTok. So Twitter, you said, has all these younger people and they attack this person, whatever. Yeah. I mean, TikTok has the same age group.
And they do the same thing on there. Yeah, I still hate TikTok, but I like the TikTok Live just because I get more viewers on there.
Okay.
You know, because when you're on Instagram Live, from my understanding, the only people who are going to see it are people who follow you. But TikTok will put like your live just randomly on people's like For You pages. So people just randomly who don't even follow you will just come across it.
So do you see Facebook as like for older people?
Yeah, mainly.
So
no,
you never
no insult.
You don't use it.
I've had a Facebook, but I deleted it a long time ago because no one I knew used it. Everybody I know uses Instagram, like that I know in real life. I mean, I like Twitter, but with Facebook, I feel like Facebook isn't for finding like pages to follow. I feel like it's mainly just talking to your friends, but it's no use if your friends aren't on it, you know?
That's for sure. There's a new one called MeWe. Have you heard of that one?
I've not heard of that one. Maybe I'll
It's like
sign
a
up.
Facebook, but it doesn't follow you like and get your information and
Also,
advertise
some
to you.
kind of like Minds and things like that. There's a bunch of those websites that are trying to compete, but
Yeah, and they look like
Facebook
Facebook, and they're not. Nobody's on there.
Facebook owns a monopoly.